Oh my. Restream, stop updating your shit. Jesus Christ. Or at least warn us when you're going to change everything.
It's tough keeping up.
Programmers today. Oh, God. And they just suck.
Yeah, technical difficulties backstage, folks.
Back in my day, we didn't have binary. We just had zeros. You know, we didn't have zero anymore.
And y'all were okay, weren't you?
We were, yeah, we were.
Everything
fine.
was great.
Then they invented binary. It's like, oh no, you need a 1. It's like, what does that mean? It's like bullshit. Anyway. Yep.
So, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's side chat's having a good, well, whatever time zone you're in right now.
We have Top Dog. We have Captive Desk. We have Lori Hayes.
Hey, Dave.
We got
hey, David.
Ica. Gravity does not act on gas rust. What? Oh, what? Oh, man, he must be referring to Otangelo.
Yeah. Otangelo,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God, Otangelo. That was brilliant, right? I mean, think about it. You know, that's what a 3-year-old would think. You know, when they're watching, clouds, right? It doesn't. Obviously, gravity doesn't operate on clouds
because they're up in the air.
Right.
You know, yesterday it was, in some ways, it was kind of a lovely evening, even though it was so scorchingly hot. I look up in the sky, and the sky is blue, and you have these nice fluffy clouds. Except at some point, the bottoms of them were very flat.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess they were hitting up against some pressure dome or something.
No, all the water drains to the bottom of the cloud, and it's a lot thicker there. So.
Oh, well, because, I've seen clouds that aren't flat on the bottom before. But anyway.
I know.
Anyway, it was just a really nice phenomenon.
This year is like a double or triple whammy in terms of all the heat waves going on, because you have, of course, rising temperatures due to global warming, but you also have an El Nino event at the same time, and a few other things I can't remember offhand. So yeah, it's pretty scorching summer now.
Yeah, except in Minnesota, for some reason, when we're usually in the 90s, it's now 70 degrees. So all of a sudden we're getting the opposite, and not only that, but it's a 70-degree drought, so we're not getting enough rain, and it's just a mess.
Yeah. The climate weather system's been thrown into flux.
Yeah, it has.
We need a flux capacitor. That'll fix it.
If only we did.
So Sal Cordova did a few videos here. He did let's see here. Okay, Big Bang Failure. That was 3 months ago.
So I'm assuming you got all the clips I sent you, right? Okay.
Andrew Cummings' misdirected papers, taking back what I said about him. What did he compliment you, and he took back his compliment?
Well, because a refresher, I kind of we were talking about the quasar time dilation thing in a chat with Rebecca, and I gave him a paper, but it wasn't the same paper I'd given him a few days ago, and for some reason he took offense to that and tried to call me out on that, saying like, "Oh, you didn't give me the same paper," and that's what he trying to rebut the entire emphasis on the word try for the paper that I did send him, the second ones.
Yeah, interesting thing. Dr. Joel Duff used to comment continually in Sal's side chat. Apparently, Dr. Joel Duff is now considered trollish, not trollish, but trollish, as Sal said.
Trollish.
Trollish, right?
Like a fishing trawl.
Like a fishing trawl, and he banned him because of some comment. And he's got he's got a big what is it? 44 minutes where he goes off about, I expect more from you, Dr. Joel. Like, I don't know, what the fuck was it? He, there was something that Dr. Joel, some comment, and Sal misread it entirely. And it was just amazing. I don't know. Talking about microbes to man evolution.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that came out, well, that was a month ago, and Dr. Duff did a video last night saying he was going to change up, what he's doing on his channel. And one of the things that he pointed out as one of his bullet points was Sal and Emery Moyna, and how he's a little concerned about their souls. And he's concerned about their character, and what they're doing.
Yeah. Because he's a Christian too, so that makes sense.
Sal is banning everybody in his side chat that says anything that he
doesn't like.
If Dr. Duff was a Sunday school teacher and invited me to his Sunday school class, I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is a stand-up guy.
He is.
Yeah.
Very thorough, very analytical, scientific.
And polite. And
he's grown up. He's a grown-up. I don't know how old he is compared to Sal, but you can see
he's younger.
He's younger than Sal.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And last night he was explaining.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
He was
explaining. I wouldn't expect that.
He was explaining that when he goes after creationism, he tries to do it fairly and politely. And because he's a good Christian, right? And then he explains to the people there are people that criticize him for not evangelizing. And he said, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do that because, that's just not, he doesn't consider that a good thing to do on his channel. Now, what his channel
he doesn't go to an evangelical church, for one thing. I don't think.
I don't think so.
Isn't he Presbyterian or Episcopalian or something like that?
I'm not sure what he is.
Yeah, me neither. And that's just fine with me.
And he doesn't really make that a big point because he knows that has nothing to do with science, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I greatly respect him for all he's done on that. He's unfortunately the exception in some circles, which is we need more Dr. Duffs out there in this community.
Yeah.
Well, another believer, Christian that I think she's still a Christian is Maddie from Science Side Up. She does great science stuff, or she did. I think she's been back on at least once or twice since having her baby. And I think she also finished her PhD. But she's a Christian and she's cool. She's just fine. Of course, Dapper Dinosaur, I believe he's a Christian because he won't talk about what his religion is.
Right.
And then I think Erica's still she's agnostic, but has she come out as like an atheist yet? Or
not sure.
I don't know.
I think she still holds on to the Christian faith. So,
well, I think the point of it is they don't want to be judged by what their religion or lack thereof is. They want to be judged by how good their science is.
Right. And they're just fine by me. She's an agnostic. Thanks, Leo.
Oh, hey, Leo.
Yeah.
Hope you get some entertainment out of this since you're kind of the other local cosmology nerd out there.
And I think oh my God, somebody's calling me. The interesting thing is that, I consider that people that are core Christians and they don't evangelize and they don't really get into all the dogma about their faith. They just live the Christian life or the Christian values.
Right.
I see that as exactly the same as secular Buddhism, because we end up with the same exact values. And that has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community, for one thing. It has to do with how we conduct our own lives, right? And I like Christians like that. I get along with Christians like that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care if they believe that Jesus crawled out of the tomb. That's almost the only point where I would, have a disagreement with them. But who cares about that as long as we end up with the same core values,
Yeah. And
But
we
I
can
very
agree
much-
on reality.
Yeah, I think I very much adhere to the core Christian values in my life, and I endeavor to do so.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure most of us do.
Yeah, I hope so.
Or try to.
Try. That's the word. Okay, I'm trying to link videos there.
Oh, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're the guest.
Oh, I think what I want to do is play, because I have a few different clips that I sent to you. Some of them are about him emphasizing the importance of the previous papers on this subject. And today, folks, we're talking about quasar time dilation and cosmology and Big Bang stuff again. So hope it's not too technical. But I think I want to show those clips first, and then I want to show the clips where he talks about how his expectations about what's to come and how he thinks, obviously, like the Big Bang model is going to fail on this point specifically. And then we can get into the recent paper that started all of this. So does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds good. Let me see here. I'm going to go to your draft and make sure I got these in order. I gotta find your Andreas Wagner, Salon. Okay, Salon Quasars.pdf. Okay, so oh my God. So
I'm not sure if they're in that exact order, but we'll just play them however you want to play them.
What do you want first? I got Big Bang, Big Failure, and then I got Andrew Cumming is Wrong, and then I got the Big Bang on Trial, Modern Day Debate. So which one would you like to go to first?
Let's start with the Modern Day Debate one first.
Okay, gotcha. And that is at 102.14. Okay. You ready?
Yep. Ray Scott.
Ready. We're playing it.
Sadly,
I am
Saul
ready.
Permeator, who had a Nobel Prize along with Adam Rees. So I'm just gonna, this has to be resolved one way or the other. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it's not a done deal that we have time dilation confirming redshifts indicate expanding space. Also, time dilation, the lack thereof in quasars. The main result of this paper is that quasar-like curves do not show the effects of time dilation. And then the author said, there is, however, a surprisingly little direct evidence the universe is expanding. Now, I'll talk about the cosmic microwave background radiation. Dr. Richard Liu, distinguished.
So that's the first clip. He's emphasizing the importance of Hawkins' result of lack of detection of time dilation in quasars from, I think, about 2010, when that paper was published. Let's see. Let's do the Big Bang, Big Failure one next.
Big failure.
Like, I want to is the point he's making and kind of how much he's emphasizing this to drive things home a little bit.
Big Bang, Big Failure, and we're at the clip. Okay.
For the Big Bang. And that's why I have this little graphic there. It says circular reasoning is good because circular reasoning is good. So, and let's go on. That's not the only one. So we have gamma ray bursts. We have the supernova. We also have quasars. And it says here, this is a paper by Hawkins. He says, the main result of the paper is that quasar-like curves do not show the effects of time dilation. Again, this is really bad. We have gamma ray bursts, supernova, and now quasars. He does observe there is, however, surprisingly little direct evidence the universe is expanding. He's pointing out there's little direct evidence. And I'd almost say, how about like none? And then you have plenty of contrary evidence, including
Not
absence of time
done.
dilation. Now,
I also want to quickly note that after that little part he's highlighted, Hawkins does mention how the case for time dilation in supernovae is pretty robust. So he didn't really mention or highlight that part specifically. I wonder why.
I don't know. Why would he do that? Don't make no sense. Don't do it. Okay, we're on to the third video.
Yep.
Andrew.
Yeah, I think this should be the last one. I only sent a few.
Yeah, we have two clips on this video. So
yeah, start with the earlier time one, and then I think the last one's the
Yep, I think this is where we're at, 11:37. So okay.
the reference 9 is the paper Andrew was showing. But I want to show a subtlety here. So it's referencing this paper that Andrew is presenting as proof that Hawkins was overturned. This is only one quasar. If that's the only measurement you have, yeah, okay, we call it n equals 1. But you really want to have a large sample size. Okay, so would you base your theory of that you could beat the casinos on
Are you done?
one game or one trip to the casino? No, you'd want large numbers. Okay, so that's one thing.
Okay.
Point something.
So I just wanna so everyone keep that pin that comment in the back of your head for a sec, because what he's talking about is obviously small sample, and he is making a legitimate point here, that small sample sizes can be skewed one way or another. So we obviously want larger data sets. I will say that as far as I remember from reading the paper I did send him, it wasn't just one quasar, but that's neither here nor there for this particular discussion. I just want to emphasize what he's saying when we get to the later paper, that small sample size versus large sample size. So just keep that in the back of your head for right now. All right.
Okay. Now we're on to the second clip.
Yep.
Last one.
Andrew's going to claim that his paper overturns all this. I can't believe this passed peer review at Physical Review Letters. That's a prestigious journal. They're admitting this was a subjective analysis. It overturned. And this is
okay. Pause right there.
This kind of bothers me.
Kind of bothers him.
Yeah. But before we play the rest of it, I just want to say I never actually claimed that it overturned Hawkins. I didn't use that language. Right. I said it made Hawkins' results a little more suspicious or less confident.
Right. I mean, so he took what you said out of context and
a little bit.
So extreme that it's not what you said.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Sal would do something like that. Nowhere in his history does he ever do that and misrepresent what people and papers say. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much stupid monkey philosophy. Don't bone somebody's wife and be cool with your neighbor. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So go on.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say too that, the Jesus or New Testament writers do occasionally get things right. Like that section where Jesus said it's not what a person eats that corrupts or defiles him, but what comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
That's a great little meme, a great little thing to hang your hat on. What is the result of your character? The things that come out of you, the things that you think about, the way you approach people. What do they say? Are they encouraging? Are they productive? Are they inspirational? Or do they drag people down, abuse them? Do they lie about them? Do they misrepresent them? Basically the opposite of what Sal's doing.
Yeah, and I haven't heard a single conservative friend of mine open his mouth without me thinking you're going to hell in the last 3 months. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Back to our clip. Here we go.
this will all play out in the end. But
Yeah,
why am
well.
I confident that Hawkins is right? Or generally the Big Bang is in big trouble? The gamma ray burst phenomenon that Crawford found, that's good. The supernova light curve, and I called Andrew on this. He said it was refuted. A 2008 paper refutes,
Okay.
I said,
Okay.
Now we're
And you
getting to the
didn't-
supernova thing. Yeah. So I just want to say I'm going to hold Sal to his openness for future data there, and whether he sees this particular video or not, or happens to see the paper that we're now going to talk about. I hope he's willing to change his mind. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, on to the actual paper we want to talk about now. Detection of the cosmological time dilation of high redshift quasars by Geraint F. Lewis and Brendan J. Brewer. I hope I'm not butchering those names. Yeah, so some leading cosmologists in the area, one of them I've talked to via email, actually. You want me to read the highlight section there specifically?
Well, read what you can. I read the abstract of this paper. I did not read this paper because you're my cosmologist and
Okay.
your job, right?
Okay. All right. I'll just
the biologist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just read a little kind of a big chunk here to get the conclusion across. If I pause for is that the whole abstract, or is there anything below it?
That is the whole abstract. Yeah.
I don't want to have to pause my words and then wait for you to scroll down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what the heck? I'll just read the whole abstract. A fundamental prediction of relativistic cosmologies is that, due to the expansion of space, observations of the distant cosmos should be time-dilated and appear to run slower than events in the local universe, whilst observations of cosmological supernovae unambiguously display the expected redshift-dependent time dilation. This has not been the case in other distant sources. So he's mentioning talking about the Hawkins paper there and others. Here we present the identification of cosmic time dilation in a sample of 190 quasars monitored for over 2 decades in multiple wave bands by assessing various hypotheses through Bayesian analysis. So that's kind of the general statistics they use there. And just note that number, 190 quasars. So Sal was talking about, we're only focusing on one or a couple quasars there. No, we have 100,000 or thousands of spectroscopically confirmed quasars, and now we have a paper that's focusing on over 190 of them specifically. So I'd call that a more robust sample size. I hope Sal would consider that a larger data set too. Anyways, this detection counters previous claims that observed quasar variability lacked the expected redshift-dependent time dilation. Hence, as well as demonstrating the claim that the lack of the redshift dependence of quasar variability represents a significant challenge to standard cosmological model, this analysis further indicates that the properties of quasars are consistent with them being truly cosmological distant sources. End quote.
Bang. Big bang. Big bang.
Yep. Yeah.
So this paper at the top, it says it's from Nature 2021, but then it says June 2023.
Yeah, that's when it was published. So it was just this month. So
okay. So pretty new stuff there, Sal.
Well, I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable spiritual reason that this paper is not worthy for Sal to read.
It's in the prestigious publication Springer Nature.
Because
it's in Nature.
Prestigious.
If it was worth his time, he would read it.
Yeah.
But it would say what he believes.
Yeah.
Out here. Bodie Kenham's son-in-law. Oh, okay. I think Dave from
Touche Dessel.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Dave from Captive Desk is going to do a little thing on Ken Ham, we think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Probably better not to egg him on. Fast forward 24 hours to detailed egging on him. It's already.
Yeah, Dessel was kind of chatting with Redefined Living in a stream yesterday, and I was telling him,
I
don't
was too.
egg him on. So
I
guess we're all guilty of that.
I had a little interaction with Redefined Living yesterday, and he is dumb as a box of rocks. I can't fucking believe it. It's just, and he doesn't always sound as dumb as a box of rocks, but when you read what he says, you can't come to any other conclusion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Redefined Living. He didn't have the balls to come over here and talk to us.
Yeah. Want to stick on his little echo chamber over at SFT.
He doesn't have the breasts to come over and talk to us. That's what you need. You want to yeah. I like to be equitable. Okay.
So we've gotten the conclusion of this paper across. So basically, with a larger, better analyzed data set, at least compared to Hawkins and earlier papers, and with more robust statistics, we have detected the actual time dilation factor in quasar light curves. So I guess another point, I don't like putting this up as a debate for or against cosmology or anything, but like in some sense, another point in favor of Big Bang cosmology.
Yep.
If Sal wants to think of it that way.
And there are a lot of them.
Yep.
So, did you want anything else?
Oh yeah, this isn't the this isn't by no means the only data point in favor of it, but since Sal has been harping on this one for a while now, I think this is redefined. Yeah, he is aggressive. Yeah, he has some aggressive wording. I guess if y'all in the side chat want me to, I can try to kind of explain what the cosmological time dilation means exactly. Let me know, anyone side chat, if you want me to refresh your memory on that, or just summarize it real quick. If not, we'll just continue with the paper here.
Yep. Where do you want to go in the paper? Let's see if you point for the confirmed as opposed to the absurd.
Yeah. So like this part specifically, what they're talking about is the time dilation factor, which is 1 plus the redshift z. That's redshift represented by z here in this case. Don't ask me why. To a certain power, what they're calling n in this case. And so they're documenting different scenarios that for the value of n by what they measured in the quasar variability. So what they're basically doing, so compared to a supernova, for example, which is basically kind of like an on-off switch in terms of brightness, and then it fades over time. Quasar light curves, because they're what we think are supermassive black holes surrounded by an accretion disk of matter that's slowly falling into them and heating up and bumping into everything else as a result, and that's releasing a heck of a lot of light because they're all that stuff's moving at close to the speed of light. So that obviously is a more complex phenomenon than a supernova going off, relatively speaking. And so the associated light curve of a quasar is also a lot more random and complex compared to a supernova light curve. And so what the researchers did was they used this new set of statistics, basically, what they're calling Bayesian statistics, or Bayesian analysis, and finding these certain statistical properties in how the quasar light varied over time. So that's basically what the light curve is. It's how the light coming from that object changes over time. as you're observing it. And so any variability, in this case, any changes in the light that you see averaged out over a long period of time, in this case about 20 years they were talking about, is how long this data was processed, I guess. I don't remember exactly where it was collected. I think it was collected for a while, and now they're analyzing it more in depth, I guess.
That scientists do. Scientists
Right.
do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I seem to remember there were some problems with measurement, right, back in the earlier papers.
Yeah, they're talking about kind of the way they sampled the data, in this case the quasar light, and the way they analyzed it statistically was kind of other papers pointing that out, that may not have been so accurate. So, and they were using obviously a smaller sample size again of quasars as compared to 190 here. I think they were only using like a dozen at most. I'd have to look how many they were using originally.
Yep.
But obviously not as detailed as this study. And what I guess to summarize it, what the time dilation basically is, let's see, give me an event, or like a normal day event as an analogy here.
A normal day event?
Yeah, like just something that lasts a fixed period of time usually.
The UPS just rang the doorbell 3 times. Is that good?
Maybe something more visual.
Something more visual. I can't think of anything.
Because in this case, we're talking about light specifically, so it has to kind of be more visual.
Snack ran across the room.
Okay. Let's say snack on average takes 5 seconds to cross.
1 second.
Well, let's just say it's 5, just so it's not too quick.
Okay.
We don't want to go into like nanoseconds or anything.
Okay. 5 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, 5 seconds to cross Mike's room. And so if you were in a galaxy far, far away, and you were in a duplicate of Mike's room over there, and you watch Snack go across the room, it would take 5 seconds. If you were to watch the same thing in our galaxy here in Mike's actual room, it would take 5 seconds. But you as an observer watching that distant galaxy, looking at that event of Snack running across the room, just imagine you can see that far away, but and then a hypothetical example here. It wouldn't take 5 seconds, again, because the time dilation factor 1 plus c, 1 plus the redshift, to a certain power, in this case 1, is what they measured. The event Snack's gonna observe, or that we're gonna observe Snack running across the room, is not going to be 5 seconds. It's going to appear to last longer. So in that sense, events in the distant parts of the universe of fixed or just that kind of time interval appear to take long compared to events here on Earth in the what is saying the local universe, as they called it. So kind of with that example, I hope that makes sense in what we're talking about here as far as time dilation goes. And that, of course, comes from the expansion of the universe as they're talking about here. Because think about it. What is light? It's a wave. It's crests and troughs moving forward over a certain distance over time. Let's just say that. And say you want to measure the time interval by the frequency, how much or how many of the crests pass a given point over a given time interval. Well, as light is stretched by the expansion of the universe, its wavelength gets longer, the distance between the crests and troughs gets longer, and so the frequency as a result decreases. So if you're measuring time that way, which in this case is how we're doing it, because the only thing we're receiving from those events is the light, the event appears to take longer because the light is being stretched, the frequency is decreasing, and so the event appears to take longer compared to events here in the local universe. So I hope that makes sense. That's what we're talking about here with cosmological time dilation because of the expansion of the universe.
Snack is nodding his head, so you did a good job of explaining. And I want to show you Sal's expression. Okay. That was Sal's expression.
I know Sabine Hassenfelder. I don't usually watch her videos, but she
Good.
explained it a little more concisely than I did here in this exact paper. So
yeah.
If
really?
You want,
She did
if
a
you want a
video on
better
that
explanation of it, go watch that clip.
Okay, I'm gonna go try to link that in my side chat. So
yeah.
Do you have the link to that paper, or to that video?
I can probably find it if it's recent one.
Yeah, it's I think our most recent one.
Oh, cool! I'll look for it.
Time ran slower in the early universe. New study finds.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I've been meaning to get to it.
Okay, so I will put that in the
And
description.
I don't like how this paper was represented in the media, like, oh, time universe was slower. Like, no, like I was saying, it's an apparent event due to the expansion of the universe. The light over that time interval appears to slow down, or the event appears to be running in slow motion, basically. But it's not actually running in slow motion. If you were to teleport to that event in the distant universe, you'd see the event running in normal time speed.
Yep.
So it's kind of some media hyperbole going on there, but it is, as we've shown here, an important confirmation and more robust analysis, basically. So
Snack is pretty upset that you would think it would take him more than 1 second to cross a 30-foot room.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, not the way he rolls.
The first number that came to mind. Don't.
Okay, I'll explain it to him.
I guess if he really feels that way, we can say 1 second, and then it goes to 2 seconds, or it appears to be 2 seconds, and then 3 seconds, and then 4 seconds off in the distant universe, far, far away.
Far, far away. Oh, I'm trying to link some videos here, all the videos that we talked about. So, okay, pretty cool. So we'll see what Sal says about that paper. I wonder what could he cherry pick from that paper that would that would save him, whatever. He's just adamant about, like, he wants to what does he call the study of he wants to study light, I think, or time.
Photometry, I think, or photo optics.
Photonics?
Yeah, photonics.
I think he calls it photonics. Yeah. Yep. We'll see if he ever does anything. I think he has been doing a lot of videos. Like, I think he had to get a job.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm saying, like, if he does ever bring up this topic again, I hope he doesn't bring up this argument now anymore, because it's now out of date.
Yes. Yep. So I've been studying some interesting stuff about relational biology, the extended synthesis, and what I think Dennis Noble calls the third way in evolution.
Oh, right.
Which is Dennis Noble doesn't do himself any favors, because, well, Dennis Noble is pretty pissed because anybody that talks about some of these newfangled ideas in biology really get a lot of pushback from, the more conservative scientists.
Yeah.
And they insulted the hell out of Dennis Noble. So he insults the hell out of them. So that's where it's at. And the creationists are listening, of course.
All
And they're
right.
like, oh, he's the, and they want to cherry pick every little infight that goes on in biology. But some very interesting stuff about relational biology and entailment inside the cell and teleology and teleonomy and all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get Daniel Nicholson on sometime this summer to discuss all that and why the cell is nothing like a machine or a factory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some interesting stuff.
Or I guess an sort of related thing to that, but kind of unrelated. I saw Matt posted a short little video recently. He's going back to the little Ernst Mayr quote he found about how evolutionists didn't predict genetic homology in genes.
Really?
Yeah, back from 1963 is when Mayr said that. Or well, he didn't say that, but he said the quote that Matt is now using.
I will have to go check that out. Was that on Matt's channel or
yeah, Young Earth Creation? It's only like a couple minutes long, but it's still pretty bad.
Okay, I will check that out. Okay, have we covered this?
Yeah, I guess for Leo's here. I hope I was able to clearly explain it, since he's if Leo wasn't able to follow things, then I think I probably did a bad job, but I hope I explained it good enough.
How did we do, Leo?
Yeah.
Let us know. But I wanted to keep this short and to the point.
Yeah, on point, yeah.
On point, yeah. And we're at about 40 minutes, so.
Yeah, which is about how long I want to go anyway, so.
Good. Okay. And we'll, let's see, we're going to have to go back to this precious expression. He kind of looks like, he looks like Matt Powell there.
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
Or no, who's that asshole that got fired from Fox News? I never remember his name. Who is he, Scott?
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. For some reason, my mind has blocked his name out of my life.
And don't forget the original asshole that got fired, Bill O'Reilly.
Oh yeah.
But that's not Bill O'Reilly's expression.
Yeah. This is Tucker Carlson's constant expression. He constantly looks like he just popped out of the womb and saw reality. And I don't know how that is appealing to people, but
that's the look that tells you that he just realized that not everybody has a member of staff that opens your ketchup bottle for you.
Yeah, Leo said he looks nothing like Tucker Carlson, but Leo's on the spectrum, and he probably doesn't get what I'm talking about. So I don't know. Sorry,
I don't know what Dessel and these other folks are on about, that I'm gonna win a Nobel Prize or something. Like I'm not that smart, but I appreciate the kind words there.
You're pretty young, and you're getting into it.
You're young. Okay. You're into scientists. You're explaining pretty high concepts. So
I'm trying my best.
Doing you and see if we're wrong in about 70 years.
Fair enough.
Yep. Oh, I want to mention that relational biology stuff I'm talking about. Every single book mentions Gödel's incompleteness theorem. Every one of them. So there you go. Stuff that in your pipe, Sal, and fucking smoke it.
Oh, I know, Dessel. You're my friend. I appreciate what you have to say, even though I will eventually defeat you in intellectual combat.
Yep. Yes. So somebody agrees with
me. And I hope I live up to your expectations eventually.
The Carlson confused face. The CC. Okay, we'll call that the CCF. The Carlson confused face, right? The CCF. Definitely have to have an acronym for that. Okay, I want to shoot her in the head.
Yep.
I got to figure out where Restream put the button. They put it in a different spot.
Yeah, because they update everything.
It's on the upper right-hand corner in my environment.
Okay, everyone out there in chat, thank you for showing up. Love when you guys show up.
Yes, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thanks.
We love your company.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Okay, goodbye, crew world.